Hey guys, what's up? My name is Eric and I'm the Techy Agent, and today we're reviewing this guy right here, the new Ticwatch E2. So this is a watch that I'm reviewing because of popular request. A lot of you have been asking about this watch. Yes, Ticwatch has a reputation of being a fantastic Android Wear experience, but is this watch also good for health and fitness tracking? So that's what we're going to be doing with this review here today. We're going to be putting the watch through a wide variety of health and fitness tests, taking it into the gym, taking it jogging, seeing if this watch is something that you can wear as both a full-time smartwatch and a full-time health and fitness tracker. Now, first of all, I want to mention a couple of things about this watch. It is a bulky device. It's mostly made up of plastic. It has a plastic casing or body. The back is plastic. The bands are plastic. Everything on this watch is plastic. So it's a very light watch. It's not something that's going to feel heavy on your wrist. That being said, it is a bulky device. It is almost a ½ inch thick off the wrist, so it's going to really stand off the wrist. And if you're wearing something that's kind of tight fitting around the wrist, like a dress shirt, this watch is going to probably kind of interfere with that. The watch is definitely not pretty to look at. It doesn't have, those sexy aesthetic curves. There's not any flashy metal bezels on this. It's just a plain Jane plastic device. But a lot of people don't want a flashy watch. They just want something that's pretty simple that gets the job done. And that's kind of where the Ticwatch E2 is coming in. It's not trying to be a flashy device that you wear to high-end events or anything like that. It's just meant to be a sturdy, steady, lightweight, comfortable device that you wear on the daily, and it does a good job at this. Now, originally when I unboxed this device, I thought it might actually be the exact same design as the original Ticwatch, but with just different internals. But upon further inspection, I found that it is actually a new design. It's actually a larger, bulkier device, even though it weighs roughly about the same. It is actually a new design, a new body, a new heart rate sensor, all of that. So Ticwatch has gone back to the drawing board. They've totally redesigned this watch. It's a larger device, weighs about the same, has some new hardware, including an optical heart rate sensor. So that's what we're going to be testing out here in this review. We're going to be testing out all of the internals here to see if the GPS is accurate, to see if the heart rate sensor is accurate, to see if the accelerometer is accurate in tracking cadence and things like that while jogging. So the first thing I did was take this with me into the gym and put this through a wide variety of different gym exercises. And what I immediately found was that the optical heart rate sensor on this isn't really designed for gym-based use. It's not really accurate in the gym. Now, that being said, most optical heart rate sensors on smartwatches or even fitness trackers don't do very well in a gym-based setting. This watch falls into the category of most watches, which means that the optical heart rate sensor is not designed for gym-based use, and you won't get accurate optical heart rate readings while working out in the gym with strength-based training kinds of exercise, CrossFit, boot camp, lifting, etc. That being said, this watch does allow you to pair with external heart rate sensors so that you can get accurate heart rate data in the gym. But you'll need to make sure that whatever app you're using to track your health and fitness is compatible with an external Bluetooth sensor. Not every app that you download for the Android Wear watch will be able to tap into the data that's being pulled from an external chest strap, for example. What I found is that if you stick with some of the major players in terms of Android Wear health and fitness apps like Strava, like the Under Armour Record app, those will pull the data from a Bluetooth chest strap and will be able to record that heart rate data. So those are the apps that I would recommend if you're planning on using an external heart rate sensor for tracking gym-based exercise. Use something that's pretty mainstream and you'll probably get a good experience and be able to pull the data from an external Bluetooth sensor. Now, once I paired the watch with an external Bluetooth sensor using the Under Armour Record application, I was then able to get accurate heart rate data in the gym using using this watch. But if you look at the optical heart rate sensor on this watch, you'll see that it's pretty small. It doesn't have a lot there. It's not really designed for gym-based use. That being said, when I did take this out for steady state cardio exercises like jogging and like cycling, I found that the optical heart rate sensor was definitely adequate enough in order to track those exercises. In fact, I think that it is an improvement over the previous generation Ticwatch, which had a really tiny sensor and wasn't as accurate or nearly as accurate as this latest version of the watch. So if you're someone who has the original Ticwatch and you're wanting to use it for health and fitness purposes and you're considering upgrading, it's definitely worth upgrading to the new Ticwatch E2 because the optical heart rate sensor on the new watch definitely does perform well when you're out jogging and cycling. Now, in terms of GPS accuracy, the watch is also fantastic. I used a wide variety of different applications. I used Strava, I used the Google Fit application. All of those applications did a fantastic job pairing with the onboard GPS and tracking my distance accurately. And all of that data did agree with my Apple Watch Series 4. And so, yeah, I don't have really any complaints there. The GPS accuracy on this watch is great. So for steady state cardio, in terms of GPS use and in terms of heart rate data, it is a very accurate watch and I would highly recommend it. Now, in terms of other features, such as whether or not you're going to get cadence, whether or not you're going to get altitude information, that is going to vary wildly depending on which application you're using. If you're someone who's into steady state cardio, I would highly recommend that you use this watch with the Strava application, because with the Strava application, you are able to then tap into those more advanced metrics like altitude, like cadence, and etc. All of the relevant metrics that you would expect for jogging, for cycling. If you're using something more basic like the Google Fit application, you're not going to be able to see all of those metrics. So again, some of these secondary metrics are going to depend wildly on which application you're using. So I would recommend that you pick an application that's kind of geared towards whatever specific exercises you're trying to track. The screen on this is definitely bright, and that would tend to kind of sap the battery life out of the watch, but it has a really interesting feature on this where it has a monochrome version of each and every display or watch face that you select. So for example, you can select a bright, colorful background or watch face, and when you pull the watch up to take a look, it will display that bright and colorful watch face. And then after a couple of seconds, it will dim to a monochrome version of that watch face in order to save battery life. Now you can play around with the settings to determine how long it shows the color version versus the monochrome version. All of that's customizable in the watch itself, but out of the box, it's set up in order to maximize battery life. Now, even though it has this screen dimming capability, in my experience, I was only really able to get about a day and a half, maybe 2 days worth of battery life, which honestly isn't that surprising considering that it is primarily a smartwatch and not a health and fitness tracker. And most smartwatches out there on the market, you have about a day or two of battery life, and this is no exception. This watch here does have about a day, day and a half, 2 days worth of battery life at most. Now the watch does come shipped with a charging cradle or charging base. It is magnetized, so you simply just set the watch in the cradle, and in about an hour later, you're going to have a full charge and be able to wear that then again for about a day to 2 days worth of battery life. The screen indoors is very bright, very crisp, responds to touches very well. I was not noticing any sort of lag or jittery, sensations kind of coming from the screen. Now in bright, direct sunlight, you're going to get something similar to what you would experience on an Apple Watch Series 3 or older. You are going to get some of that screen glare. You will have a little bit of difficulty viewing the screen in direct bright sunlight. And what I found is that oftentimes while I was jogging or cycling, I had to kind of cup the watch with my hand in order to accurately see the screen. And that's just going to, again, be kind of an inherent problem with many smartwatches on the market. The screen brightness just isn't going to be bright enough in order to view in direct sunlight. You'll have to usually kind of shield the watch from the sun in order to see the screen. So I guess the question for a lot of people probably is, can a cheap Android Wear watch like the Ticwatch E2 be a viable health and fitness tracker and a viable smartwatch? And my answer to that is absolutely. This watch definitely can hang in there with watches that are 2 and 3 times as expensive in terms of getting a fantastic smartwatch experience and in terms of health and fitness tracking capabilities. So I definitely recommend it. So my overall take of the Ticwatch E2 is that it's a fantastic budget Android Wear experience. If you're wanting a smartwatch that runs the Android Wear platform and does it really well at a bargain price point, this watch is definitely something you should consider. Additionally, it's a decent, health and fitness tracker. I was kind of impressed with how well it did for steady state cardio kinds of exercise. And once it was able to connect to an external Bluetooth sensor, it was perfectly adequate for gym-based use as well. So this is definitely a watch I can get behind and recommend. So I'm going to put a purchase link in the description below where you can pick this up from Amazon for the best price possible. Hey guys, thanks for watching. My name is Eric and I'm the Techie Agent. We'll catch you next time.